Alrighty, well.
Wiser, it's always good to hear your voice on a Monday morning. I mean, you should be doing voiceovers. That voice is just magnetic, let me tell you.
Well, I appreciate it, man. You know I love hearing your voice, getting everyone excited. You get me excited, man. Sometimes you'll call me at 2 a.m. I'll be like, all right, time to get pumped up for work.
You do it to me as well, you know? And and anybody that's here in the beginning of these meetings knows that I wish I had music playing, but of course, that was one of the things on the pile that I didn't get to this past week. I want music playing while we let people funnel in, man. Music just speaks to the soul, starts the Monday off right, get that energy, get that vibe. So anybody, reach out to me in Telegram, on Twitter after this. Let's get this music thing going. I need help. I want people to like focus on the music portion because we got to start this Monday with the right wave, man. We are on the journey of 5 lifetimes. So yeah, we'll let people fill in the next few minutes. We'll get started. It's going to be an exciting AMA Monday in the world of Hoge.
Absolutely. So we got a
Yeah.
couple of people speaking today on a couple of different topics. I'm sure you know almost everyone that'll be speaking today. And yeah, so we got people from different teams, different committees. They're going to be updating you a little bit about what's going on in their world, and then we'll open it up for questions. First today, I think let's see, how many people do we have in? I'm sure some more will be pouring in periodically. But if you want, let's go ahead and start with our very own beloved Mr. Joe Rocco. If you want to, go ahead and give us a little update on what you got going on, man.
Sure, man. First and foremost, glad to be here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody who's listening. I know we're all different time zones, and we appreciate you guys even coming to these. We have the second version of our Millionaire Challenge. Most of y'all maybe have remembered the first version where we raised 25 million from the community, and then we gave them out as engagement awards. So anytime you did anything positive for Hoge, create a video, make a post, create a tweet, make a comment, interact, write an article, anything you do that was positive for Hoge and we're able to provide a link to us, you get an opportunity to win some free Hoge. And so we've basically re-upped the competition. We doubled down. This time we've raised 50 million Hoge and we're spread it across 4 weekends. The last weekend we'll be giving away 25 million. People can enter in as many times as they want. And we've also updated the prizes. So the lowest prize you're going to receive is 750,000 Hoge and the most you'll receive is 10 million Hoge. So it's going to be really, really cool. Overall, it's going to start the 18th. So starting the 18th at 8 p.m., every comment, everything you do from that point all the way up until September, I believe, 12th, you'll be entered in to win. You even have the option to winning more than once. It's going to be random. So we're going to be withdrawing based off of, post numbers. So we'll say, okay, post number 10,000 wins, 1,000 wins, 500 wins. So whatever the randomizer calls is the winner. So I'm looking really forward to this. I think there's going to be a total of 34 winners altogether for a total of 50 million Hoge, and it's going to be really awesome. Oh, and you also have the option to accept BSC Hoge or Ethereum Hoge. You put in your wallet address, and we'll send you the right kind that you wanted. But yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. I hope you and your family are doing well. Yeah, absolutely, man. So I know also we have Florin here as well. Florin will join me talking a little bit about the exchanges and updates with that. As you may have seen, there have been some changes. You may have seen in the Hoge Nation post, in the Telegram post, there have been some changes to our overall strategy. For high level in terms of what's going on there is currently we are no longer pursuing LBank after some of you, our amazing community members, have brought forth some concerns specifically as they pertain to wash trading. Wash trading is essentially the creation of what you can call fake volume. And we found out that there is a fairly significant amount of that in a number of exchanges around the world. That's nothing new. However, the community said we want to avoid anything that is particularly involved with high volume of wash trading. So we are moving forward, and we currently have up a donation wallet, as you've seen, for a top 5 exchange. This exchange, I am sure most people on this call have heard of. Most people on this call have probably used before. We cannot say the name of it. However, we can tell you it is not a U.S. exchange. So that is currently where we're at with that. I believe Florin, would you like to speak a little bit about some of the other updates as they pertain to Biloxi and others?
Hello, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here. Yeah, there has been this debate around the Biloxi exchange and what they are doing with Hoge price. So basically, I went to our market making team to ask them because they are supposed to know exactly what it is happening. And I've seen so many questions and concerns like. Does this affect the price? Do they influence it on other exchanges and so on? So basically, they are not influencing it on other exchanges. They can only trade on their exchange. But what they do if the price goes low, because CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko do an average of the prices, they will influence what is showing there. So we decided to remove them from our website, and we will shortly try to get in touch with CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko and remove them from our marketplace that we have listed on there. But other than that, there is not a big deal with it. So yeah, this is what happened with Biopsy.
Makes sense. Thank you. So as we continue to move forward, you will notice that there are two exchanges that we are primarily driving towards right now. One of them is a long-term goal, and it is obviously a very large goal. As you notice, we're raising quite a bit of money for it. One of the things I would definitely like to bring up, though, the majority of what we're raising for inside of that large top 5 exchange is actually not the listing fee, but it is instead for the liquidity that we will need to provide to facilitate the trades that will be going through our market making partners. Now, much of this we will actually be able to get back provided that our volume is consistent within the exchange. So let's say that $350,000 of this or more is going towards liquidity providing. That means that much actually can be eventually in the future used to provide funding for other projects, whether it is building of DeFi technologies, whether it is potentially paying some of the devs, whether it is potentially going through part of this rebranding cycle, whether it is any number of things. It can be used towards future exchange listings as well. So that is something to definitely keep in mind, that a large chunk of this donation can and will be reused for additional fundraisings in the future. So that's one of the reasons that we're excited about this, and we really hope to achieve that goal. We do realize it is a lofty goal, but we think that it is definitely possible, especially as our price increases. So yeah, that's something we're moving towards, just something to keep in mind and consider. With that being said, one of the other exchange-related news that you may have heard us talking about recently is Whitebit and their donations. Whitebit has slotted a total of 50,000 USDT to be donated to the charities of the Hoge community's choice. This originally came from the early days when Whitebit was receiving significant reflection before we had begun the process of blacklisting, large exchanges from receiving their reflections. And so they ended up with this extra amount of money, which they have agreed to start donating out beginning this month. The way that this will work is fairly soon. You will see an option of 8 different. So far for this month, we have narrowed it down to 8 different charities that we will be potentially fundraising for. Then the community will vote on their favorite of 5 of those. In ascending order, those donations will go out to those 5, and this will happen every single month. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. Keep a lookout for that. Probably within this week, you'll see the options. You'll begin to see the options to begin voting on these charities that we'll be donating towards. So thank you, Whitebit, for that. Beyond that, let's see, who do we have next up? I believe St. C had some things to speak on as well after this.
Hi everyone, thank you Weiser, but I'll leave Mash to start the discussion, and I can jump in with some DAO updates as well.
Sure. Hey everyone, nice to see you all here. So in the spirit of Hoge Everywhere, I'm really happy to announce that we are opening up the use of the Hoge brand as much as we possibly can and making it as simple as possible for everyone. So we've only added 4 caveats to the use of the brand. First one being that the use of the brand is implicitly permitted, except where it is illegal in the jurisdiction in which you operate. So that means that if you want to open up a Hoge restaurant, do it. If you want to open up a Hoge kayak rental somewhere on a sandy beach, do it. And I'm going to come see you. Just make sure that your food is good and the quality of your product is good. That being said, we are not going to ensure, we're not going to take on the liability or the responsibility for all of these outbranching projects. We simply do not have the manpower to do so. So, and we want to leave it open for everyone to participate. This is a community project after all. So this is as simple as we can possibly make it for everyone moving forward. The only 2 other caveats that there are is that you cannot trademark the Hoge brand anywhere else. I mean, don't be that guy. And you cannot launch another token with the Hoge brand simply because we do not want people to get confused and purchase the wrong token or anything like that. Otherwise, if you have an idea for Hoge, we strongly encourage you to move forward with it.
Sounds really good. Thank you, Mash, for that update. I guess just on the spirit of talking about the brand use and also the vision, the message that was posted Friday on Hoge Nation and distributed to Telegram, Discord, but also Reddit to all members of the community had explained this, but also come back to the principles of and values of Hoge, and this is actually very well linked to what we're trying to do with a Hoge 2.0. And just to add on top of what Mesh was saying, so we've been through kind of a transition for the past 6 months. When I say transition, we looked at different models to establish on how to govern, but also how to use the brand, how to empower everyone to be more flexible and do stuff. And for this transition, we learned some good lessons learned. Some lessons, but also we kind of become more flexible in terms of like how we see this going forward as a community project. Therefore, these changes. And then just quickly on another thing to mention, we do have at the moment work in progress the Hoge Association website. A good chunk of people working on this, and I'm going to take this opportunity to say thank you to everyone who's been involved in this. The website is going to be complementary to what we currently have in terms of we have Hoge Nation that's been used by a majority of the community in terms of using that as proposing things, but also adding ideas or voting on different elements. And at the same time, we have Hoge Finance, which is the token. So the Hoge Association will be more of a guidance website in first of all showing and bringing to life what Hoge Association actually is about. Who are the board members, who's the legal team behind it, but also will bring to life Hoge ecosystem in terms of a number of elements that will start happening going forward in terms of the new ecosystem roadmap and how this is going to interact with everything else that's being built at the moment within the community. We'll also clarify and bring to life the element of how to use Hoge brand going forward, which, as Mesh explained, this is going to be very easy for everyone. What Hoge Association actually can support the community with, but also what are the things that the Hoge Association is not going to be liable for or be able to do on the behalf of the community. And then finally, Hoge partnerships. So kind of with these 3 elements in mind, a lot of what we've been through for the past 6 months to clarify, we will finally have something that we can, guide going forward and look to. And then just one other quick thing to mention here, we will have a very nice timeline of Hoge story. What do I mean by this? Starting from February when, Hoge was established as a token, and then through the past few months, the whole transition that I was just mentioning. So I'm not going to give more details, but this is going to be quite nice and tied in with a lot of the documents, but also the work done by the community members, and everything that's currently in Hoge Nation will be actually put into this to bring this story to life. At the same time, we will have the Hoge DAO roadmap somewhere, because a lot of people have been asking about this. Where is it stored? How can I see that? What's happening within that space? and then the DAO roadmap will be also housed within this page of the website. And then just finally, as a final comment, this page will also bring in the community forum, so it will tidy up. So anytime when someone new comes into the community and wants to kind of see the story of Hoge, but also tools that they can use, and then, you know, what's the roadmap for the DAO, how they can help, how they can support, but also what's happening, is basically just going to be into one single element. And then finally, the website will have one last page, which is going to be the donation page. This will bring to life a number of different wallets that can be used going forward for either different projects, but also partnerships, revenues, just to have everything into one place so people can understand and look at the information into a much clearer way. Kind of that's the update for me, and I'm happy to take any questions at the end.
Perfect. I see Andrea has also requested to speak. Andrea, did you have something to go over? I will take that as a no. With that, I'm actually going to hand things over to our world famous Hayden, and let you talk a little bit about everything that you got going on.
Well, thank you, Weiser. I don't know about world famous at all, but a frontline soldier in the world of Hoge, Hoge Nation, which I take way more pride in that, in all honesty, because this is the world that matters in our lives and that we can touch and that we can have some control of to help better humanity at its base core. As idealistic as that sounds, it's a reality. And to say that we have the heat and the fire coming in such a beautiful, aligned way would be the understatement of Monday so far, even though it's still an early Monday and I do a lot of understatements. But with that being said, look, all jokes aside, there's been a lot of work that's gone on, since I arrived, and this team was gracious enough to give me a chance to work with some incredible people and unreasonable thinkers that I have such an affinity for and have come to truly love and become a family. So with that being said, all that work, all that culmination of effort, time, energy is coming to a head. Hoge 2.0, the rebirth is upon us. So within the next 2 weeks, it will be here, and the clean, mature, luxurious, high-end look that is unmistakable, undeniable, and unapologetic will be here. When we say 2.0, the rebirth, it is still the same project and the same utility of our tokenomics and who we are. We are the same, but we are maturing, we are evolving, we are aligning so that it is clear the same way when you look at a can of Coca-Cola and you know that's Coke, you are going to have that same sentiment when you look at Hoge across the board. And having that aligned look helps build our value and our identity and makes it so that when someone sees that visual of Hoge, it's immediately understandable and resonates. So you give us 2 weeks and it will be here. And as we get closer and closer, right, a countdown will commence. But it is time to get excited, Hoge Nation. It is time, okay? And to complement that and layer that in with all the other fun that we have coming, we have the Millionaire Challenge, which J-Rock described earlier in a big way. And that's going to really help amplify and showcase, our superpowers with what we can do with the community and the virality of it. In addition, we have an NFT giveaway coming, dropping later this week. And it will be a group of NFTs. I think we're going to have 6 winners. Everyone's going to win an NFT and a Hoge Everywhere merch pack. And I know that some of the NFTs that we have for this giveaway, of course, we will have our Genesis Adam NFT and Scotty NFTs. But in addition, we've had Crypto Puma donate an incredible NFT. Poopies at Poopies NFT donate an incredible Hoge infused NFT. And so it's really about, showcasing the beauty of the non-fungible world on the creative side, and bringing that to life in a fun way so that people can engage and win some cool digital art that truly can't be quantified in its value in our world today. But in a few years, it will be second nature. So these contests are coming. They're very exciting. And something else dropping this week. We have the 50/50 merch collection dropping this week. Now, what is the 50/50 merch collection? Okay, the 50/50 merch collection is a limited collection that will rotate and drops for a period of time. And in this collection, there will be a handful of some updated, merch gear, some shirts, which some have dropped, at least visually, across some of our social channels, including Instagram and others. But the beauty of this is that it is yet another channel to immediately drive an impact to charitable organizations. When we say 50/50, 50% of the profits are going to be donated to the charity of our choosing for that particular month. 50% of the profits will be put back to Hoge to continue to fund the project. But the idea here is really to provide a channel to get some really cool, relevant merch, gear that you can wear and have everywhere. And there'll be QR codes on these merch shirts so that when people are waiting in line in Starbucks or at the grocery store, and you got that person behind you that just wants to scan you real quick, let's convert some of these people in line and let us, who believe in this project, act as like a very authentic and unintrusive billboard that people would have to engage with. So look out for the 50/50 merch collection. We still need to figure out which charity of the month, and I think it can be a lot of fun that way, and always have a way to really give back no matter what we're doing. Okay, so moving on, right? The Hoge Weekly email blast has started, blasting out. We got through our throttling issues. The chosen one went to work and figured out all the throttling. And I can say that, after 2 weeks of our email blast, our open rates are incredible. People are engaging with it. And it's really going to prove to be a valuable tool and resource, not only for our community to gather more detail and granular information on all the events, updates, and happenings of Hoge, but for us to really look at the data and have it tell us the way that our community likes to engage with us and the items that they're interested in. So if you haven't done so yet, go to hogefinance.com, enter in your email address, put it in there, and get on the Hoge Weekly email blast list. You will be privy to information a lot sooner than the general community. Everyone will get the information, but there will be advantages. And as this matures more and more, you'll really see the advantage of being on that list. And it only helps, disseminate information in the best ways possible. In addition, guys, we have that media partnership, right? That much awaited media partnership. Now, I know that last week I had spoke about, it dropping on the 15th or the 16th. So here's what I have to say. With some revisions and stuff that went back, it's looking like early next week it will be live. But however, right? Oh no, we got to push it back. I think that knowing that we're cemented in stone now and have our final edits in and approved and it's into production, I think today's the day that we can let that cat out of the digital bag here. So when we talk about a media partnership, and the idea here is to connect to a new network, really, that caters to that mainstream audience. Find that rinse and repeatable formula, start in America, build out globally from there. But I think it's really refreshing that we can have a platform to shine on that is not saturated. In fact, we would be one of the first, if not the first, to showcase on this network. And that is a glaring, campaign that is refreshing and will catch people's attention. So the network that we're going to be on is one of the largest news media networks in America. Their audience by data is a bit more educated, more loyal to brands, has higher spending capabilities. The network consists of over 260 news properties across America. So we're talking their .com news website, their print paper, and together combining with a portfolio of high-level sports channels, things like golfweek.com, MMA Junkie, Sports Wire sites. Their audience relies on their channels to consume their daily news and information. Unlike TikTok or Instagram, where you're coming to be entertained for 15 seconds and see something salacious or funny, this audience comes to their channels to consume news and information. That inherently longer attention span and mindset when they come to those channels provides an opportunity for us to resonate with this audience and connect with them and control our narrative from our perspective and win them over, focusing on the humanizing part of our project. It's the little things that make the biggest difference. And in this case, I am proud to announce that sometime early next week, Hoge will now have visibility for the foreseeable future on the USA Today network. We're talking USA Today, a brand as old as time, easy to understand simply by the brand, and their network touches 160 million adults every month. And now Hoge has a home on the USA Today network. So this is going to be an exciting venture. The cat is out of the bag. The copycats will rush in. But in this case, not only can we be first, we can be thoughtful. First, we move slow. Then we start to pick up the pace. People always try and go too fast too soon, and then they don't have enough energy. They don't have enough mental capacity to get to that finish line. They're only thinking about 30 days ahead, one quarter ahead if we're lucky. But this group of unreasonable and talented thinkers, combined with the incredible and insatiable Hoge Nation community, this is the recipe to take us to that next level and go from there. So anyone that's been sleeping on us, if you loved us at our best, but you can't be found when we're at our market deciding low point, don't come back to us when we've taken off on the Hoge Everywhere mission to Mars. But oppositely, if you have that energy, you want to help, and you want to bring this project up, now is the time. The people that were here in the beginning, way before I was here, you remember that euphoric, time period where dopamine was on tap 24/7, and everybody was looking at each other and feeling that sentiment authentically, right? And that was something that was incredible and magical and really special, showcasing what this community and project can do. Now imagine a world where you have that same run, that same feeling, that same sentiment, but to give it stability, to give it that foundation to continue on and continue further. Hoge Everywhere. If you thought we were kidding when we said Hoge Everywhere, we mean it so literally, it's going to be unmistakable. So to say that my adrenaline has been pumping 28 hours a day, 10 days a week since I started, man, that doesn't do it justice. And I would say buckle up and get ready. But a seatbelt is not going to be enough to buckle up with. This is the time. It is our time to shine. And we don't give two flying you-know-whats. If you're not in this community, if you got an opinion like people got butts, they all stink. Keep them to yourself. But if you're in this community, you're part of this nation, you're part of the unreasonable thinkers, it's time to show the world how we make it adapt to ourselves. Everyone better get ready. Shit's gonna fly. That's what I got.
That's a great line to end on.
Thank you,
Absolutely, man. That's perfect. Well, I'm extremely pumped. I obviously I think this is going to be an amazing partnership, and I cannot wait to see how we begin integrating with them and their platforms. And obviously I know a little bit about what this partnership actually looks like. And I can tell everyone I'm extremely excited for it and extremely excited to see what it does to bring us into the mainstream. One of the things when I first joined Hoge is I was so excited to see is how many people, how many new investors we brought into the DeFi space, how many people that Hoge was their second ever purchase of crypto, with of course with Ethereum being the first one. And especially as we go into the mainstream, I'm excited to see a lot more of that as well. So yeah, I think that's something that's absolutely amazing. Thanks so much, Hayden. That is absolutely perfect. Now, to sort of follow up on that, I know that our own Tammy has a real quick update. Now that Hayden has everyone extremely pumped. I know that Tammy has a real quick update for everyone on the Dev Appreciation Week.
Hi, exciting news. I'm excited about the partnership. Been waiting for a couple weeks, so finally that's over. I just want to update. We did a Dev Appreciation Week about a week ago. It ended on last Friday. The final numbers were roughly $12,000 that were donated. We're going to begin to invite those individuals that will receive those payments into a room to get the information that they need in order to, obtain that money that was raised from the community. So I just want to thank the community again for donating, as well as you, Chloe Brown, for kind of putting this together and walking with me to get it out there. So again, thank you, Hoge community and developers. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. Not just we appreciate you. I mean, we are you. This is the community token, and obviously every little bit of this is would not be possible without our entire community. Every person in this room is what makes this amazing, beautiful project move forward. So yeah. Beyond that, I think we're going to open up for a couple of questions. I know we've seen quite a few questions come in. If you have questions, please, if you're in the Telegram group, please tag myself or anyone that you see on the call with your questions. I know we have a couple coming up. Someone just said, "Let's talk about Bilaxy." I don't know what that means. So if you wanna expand on that a little bit, absolutely.
It's hard to deal with dead time. Like it's taking some deep thought here.
Yeah, one person said, so what exactly does this partnership look like? I know that there's a lot that you can't tell us right now, Hayden. I know there's a lot that is still in the works. However, is there anything else you can tell us about what exactly the partnership looks like? Is it simply an advertisement package that we have with them, which I know is not the case? I can already tell everyone that that's definitely not the case. But is there anything else you can tell us about what our interaction with them in the future is going to look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, we have a deal with the USA Today network, right? We're going to be providing content that we create for the next 6 months. And that's, what I can say in the sense that, we are controlling the narrative and we are having our articles drop, on a monthly basis on the USA Today network, which in addition, right, is going to provide us an indefinite landing page that's going to live on usatoday.com. So long after, our articles begin and end and continue on, we will now have an everlasting visual source of information, so that when people are, as blockchain adoption increases and more of that mainstream audience that lives day in and day out on the USA Today network begins to search for crypto related content and does queries for some of the top crypto words, we are going to be a result in that journey when the consumers are going through their non-linear journey of qualifying, and finding a credible project to learn more about and to engage with. When I say non-linear, in today's day and age of technology, right? Someone could be driving and see a billboard and it puts a thought into their head. And they see a Scotty billboard, right, on Sunset or in LA. And then they come home and they start to make dinner and they get it ready and the kids are playing their games. So they get on their phone right? They're on Facebook and they're scrolling through and they see, Hoge article from USA Today posting this. What's that? They click on it. And right when they click on it, they start to hear some screaming, right? And they put the phone down for a couple hours. And they go to that and then they come back and they forget that they clicked on the link, and then they go on USA Today or they go on Google. They're like, what was that project? Hoge, and they search for it, and then boom, there's an article like in their search results. Oh, USA Today, right? That nonlinear journey, having touch points at all these high level platforms and all these properties that the audiences and the communities and the people that we want to discover and win over and bring to the Hoge Nation and our project, having those visible touch points along their journey. These are the little things, right? That with repetition, consistency, accountability, and letting the data speak to us, so that these data-driven, analytics help tell us the results and showcase, where to go and what our improvements are and what to focus on, is all part of the journey. And now that we'll have our new site with an aligned look, telling a strategic message live to coincide right when our new articles drop. Now, when we're driving traffic, new audiences, net new audiences at the top of that funnel, right, in our world, to come in and drop in this funnel and learn about the world of Hoge. When we send them somewhere now, we're sending them to our new and aligned site, right, that tells a strategic story. We tag everybody with cookies. You retarget them. It's going to be a whole new world. And this, media partnership is not the end all be all. This is another box that inevitably will have to be checked by every project here. Okay. We're talking right now, people use social media channels, right? And in addition to social media channels, right now, people are going to flock in and say, hey, we got to have content on authoritative platforms and news media networks, because as adoption picks up, this is where people are going to start to find, the next project to learn about. We are the proactive thinkers in a reactive society. And that's what one aspect and one, attribute of an unreasonable thinker is. And when you can be a proactive thinker in a reactive society, it's going to be really hard to lose long term. It's just too many people are here for the quickness, cutting corners, leaving thought out. Not us. Not ever. Fuck that. We came to win and do this once. I apologize for the vulgarity, but I just feel this in my soul. And whatever, things people will say from this and nitpick apart, let me tell you, tunnel vision has gotten us to a place of soon to be explosiveness. And it really means little what any naysayer says outside of this project. If you've been involved in this project, the time, energy, and passion that we have. And let me just tell you from my small perspective, because let's not forget, I am one tiny piece of this incredible community. And it only works having this incredible community together. What I see, no one's going to see coming outside of our project. If you're in our project, it's coming from the way that your passion showcases in your tweets, your posts, your comments. You're not going to be looked at, as the one that was talking air. We came and we are coming so correct. We are going to break some necks happily. We are going to beautifully disrupt and destroy. But when I say destroy, define destroy as empowering, providing the tools. Okay. We're talking, the education that's you can resonate with, so you can understand DeFi. DeFi really made easy. Our education system right now is set up from the 1950s. And they don't teach you the things that you're going to need to know in the world of today. Well, Hoge, listen, we're here to give you that education at every level, every segment, every age group, so that you have the resources and the knowledge to then leverage our project to go and take care of your professional life. You have business ideas. You want to align with a high-level IP like Hoge and build a brand. We're here for you, right? And then you want to take care of your financial lives. We have the tools and resources in DeFi that are coming in that way in a tangible, realistic manner. We already have auto staking. You have our coin, and that is a daily dividend, right? To a degree or of participating in this. So when you bring it all together, it's about telling that story to the mainstream audience. Who doesn't want, to be part of a project that helps improve, legitimate education so that you can have the tools to succeed in an industry today, provide you the professional resources so that you can start a business, make a business, sell a business, right? And give you the tools in DeFi to take more control and empowerment over your financial future. We're going to make that so that it's actionable and that you don't have to be a savant and know every protocol and how yields work and, where to farm this or that. This is the project to empower and uplift the communities and the world. And at the end of the day, it's always going to be wrapped in a charitable organization giving bow. We are here to give back in more ways than people even try to one time. That's what's important to us. And when we have those pure intentions in mind and are really trying to better the people that are involved in this project and really humanity and the blockchain space, that is in itself a huge advantage and opportunity because everybody's all about the almighty and failing fiat dollar. We're here to make that journey of life, to improve that, quality trajectory at every aspect that we can.
So in short, yes. It is, man, it is tough to follow up. Hayden, yeah, it's, man, so much passion. But yeah, in short, yes. I do know obviously from speaking with Hayden and everyone else and going through this partnership, it is definitely so much more than just a simple paid advertising position. If that's what it was, that's not even really worth much of an announcement. It is definitely going to be so much more than that. And you'll see that in the coming months as we get into really involved, really interactive ways to ingratiate ourselves into the USA Today community. So yeah, definitely a lot more than some simple paid advertisement with them. This is an actual partnership. I know a couple of things that came up during these talks. We've been talking about, for starters, the blue check mark. The blue check mark. I can tell you a little bit about that. We've seen a lot of people asking about it. I do know that as part of that, we're definitely in the middle of that process right now. I know that some of the people from our marketing team have been talking with the people at Twitter fairly consistently. One of that is they like to see us featured in a little bit more news articles. So part of what that means is you may also see us in more news articles fairly soon. Being in places like USA Today, being in places like some of the bigger ones out there, like CoinMarketCap, Business Insider, some of those things that we may be aiming towards. Are definitely going to help a lot with that blue check mark as well. So yes, I can tell you we're definitely in the midst of talking with Twitter as is. So that's one of the main questions I saw come up a lot. A lot of people are asking about the blue check mark. What else?
I can give a little update on the NFT Marketplace work. I'm sure some people might want to hear about that.
We saw a couple questions about the NFT Marketplace and what we may expect about that in the coming weeks, months, future.
Yeah, absolutely. So this has all been a lead up, just research, work in the background. I mean, I'm talking to a lot of community members. Also, I'm sure many have seen and also heard me in other Twitter spaces around too, just speaking to NFT artists wherever I can. So we have the basic framework for what we're going to need for the phase 1 launch so we can bring the community and everybody else around us the chance to create the way they want to. We're going to start building here in the next few weeks. We're going to move fast and we're going to do it right. And just like we said, enhancements will come. And we're also going to start looking for small groups that we can bring in so we can start doing some testing, some new research, and then also as we get closer, helping people understand how to build not just their NFTs, the ones that they want to make for themselves, also become a business within the NFT. So we're going to start focusing our efforts on everybody here, giving everybody the place to create how they want to, and also start training you on how to build that so it keeps going. So we're pumped. Hayden, I'm also pumped about the news you gave too. So I'm trying to ride your coattails.
Oh, stop, man. I mean, this NFT marketplace is going to be integral, right? We know what we have coming up and can't even, really speak too much about, but all positiveness. And this NFT marketplace is going to be such an integral part of Hoge moving forward in such a magnificent way. So really appreciate everything that, you are doing over there and the team's doing. And yeah, I mean, it's exciting.
We appreciate all you guys and everybody in the community too. You'll be hearing more from us as we're moving forward so we can start getting everybody involved where they need to and keep that communication flow as well. We'll keep you up to date. So thank you very much for your time all.
I had a thought that I wanted to add if this is a good time for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
How is everybody today? I hope everybody's having a great afternoon. This is Hoge Father, and I just wanted to kind of give my perspective on price as somebody who's been in the community for a really long time. I remember when it was, because it's something that's on everybody's mind. You know, it's something I hear about every time I post. Somebody's like, "I'm down on my investment," and I'm like, yeah, "I know, me too." You know, it's one of those things where when I got in March, if I had known about Hoge just like 1 week earlier or something like that, it would have been, you know, a lot more advantageous. And here we are now, and the price is even lower than it was back then. So, so much has happened, and there's been so much infrastructure development, so much community building, so much done in this project and proven with this project where, you know, there might have been some question marks in March. You know, does this community have the wherewithal to hold together in the downtimes and in the tough moments? And the answer is a clear and resounding yes now, right? And now I can buy it up. I sort of got my wish in an indirect way where I can buy it up at a price that's even better than it was back before I knew about Hoge. And so, you know, it's sort of like a chance to get in early again, but now with the knowledge of what we've actually got in our hands. And so I'm sort of thrilled by the downturns in a sense because it gives me that chance to, you know, I've got some yield farming and stuff like that. So every time that I harvest my cake, I can throw it into Hoge, and so that's kind of been my strategy. But you know, just even a little bit of a trickle right now gets you tons of Hoge at prices that seemed completely impossible just a short while ago. So. And then as that accumulation happens, remember, there's no more Hoge coming into existence. There's no mining, there's no nothing. Like whatever's out there is out there and it's burning, right? It's decreasing in supply. So, you know, as demand goes up from exposure to national networks and things like that, and the validity and credibility of getting blue checks, and just as every one of these little markers gets completed, it just adds to the demand and the supply is not going up. So that's just a kind of a thought that's been in my mind, is that this is such a precious moment where we can sort of take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of us. And so I've been doing that. I hope you guys are doing that too, because I don't think the price is ever going to get this low again. It's hard for me to envision it ever getting this low again. So that's kind of what's been on my mind.
Awesome. Good stuff there. I will say, Weiser, the one question we were talking about earlier, you and I, was about the exchange wallets, the top 120 versus the top 5. Well, it appears that somebody created a poll on Nation asking about that wallet. So if you guys want to vote if we should consolidate the two wallets together, give us your opinions. Should we? Should we not? If we should, why should we? If we don't, why should we not? But then vote. We want to hear what you guys have to say about that.
Yeah, this is something that's definitely come up before, and we've seen it come up a couple times, which is the concept of some of the people saying that this top 5 exchange should be our sole goal, and we should be moving towards a singular goal as a community, rather than trying to raise for both at the same time. And a lot of community members have expressed that they would rather be going towards the larger one and using the funds from the smaller exchange, which again, I should not say smaller exchange is still a huge, really good exchange. But some people are saying that we should potentially combine them. Now, something like that will never be the decision of anyone on any team. That needs to be a community decision. So we will put up a poll for that, get a feel for what the community feels, and what their wishes, what all of your wishes are. So that is something you'll likely see on Hoge Nation or Twitter fairly soon. But with that, listen, if anyone has any additional questions, you can find us in the Telegram in the coming hours. You can find us, you can find some of us in Discord as well. Feel free to continue asking your questions. We'll be around. But with that, I think it is actually time for us to end. So everyone, thank you so much for joining. I hope y'all are as pumped as we are. And yeah, we'll definitely see everyone on the moon. All right, everyone, have a good one.